Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. We got a quick update for Tarkov here. We got quite a few Nikki leaks or, things he posts on social media, mostly Twitter, that we can show you guys and get you some info. These usually pick up right as we get closer to events or wipes. Nikita kind of stays quiet and then he gets real active right before we get a big info dump. So with wipe coming up and some patches and stuff, that's kind of what this is. Marketing, hype building, but there's some cool things to look at, so we'll get into those. The very first things first I want to get out is the boss event is over, kind of a quasi event. Bosses were 100% spawn on all their respective maps. That started, I believe, Friday. It is over now. The bosses are back to normal, 30% spawn rates on their maps, stuff like that. So that was a short-lived event. Hopefully, as we get into the wipe or into December here, closer to the wipe, we'll get more of the traditional end of wipe events where all the bosses are on one map or they're rotating around or whatever they're doing, and then they stay for the rest of the wipe. So I suspect that could be coming. We'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so first up, we got a tweet from Nikita showing Terminal and some pictures of Terminal. Terminal is a map that has yet to be released on Tarkov. So if you go to your thing, you'll see here it's not available. It is the area right outside of Shoreline, on the, what is that, the south corner of it, southwest corner of it, or southeast corner of it. There's a wall there, landmines, barriers, you can't get it, but you can kind of see some stuff over there. It's a dock, if you will, for lack of a better term. Now for screenshots, we got quite a few here, just kind of showing the level of detail and giving kind of a perspective of scale. Funny stuff in here. No, there's a truck up here, and BSG, I'll show you one of their tweets replying to it here in a little bit, but trucks that kind of get picked up by these sometimes. This picture, we'll come back to this in a sec. This is an interesting one because we kind of have a before and after as they've progressed and worked on the map. But I believe this screenshot here is somewhere way the heck up over here, like this area, roughly where these lights are at, which kind of gives you an idea of just how big this is going to be. It's going to be a lot bigger than I thought it was. I didn't think this was going to be even a medium-sized map. I thought it was going to be more of a smaller one, but it looks like it's going to have some pretty good scale to it. Another cool detail we got, a lot of people, including myself, thought this was a submarine at first and then got a little bit closer to look at it, and then we realized it wasn't a submarine. This is a Zuber, I'm saying Zuber, I might be wrong, hovercraft. It is a amphibious assault vehicle. U.S. military, other militaries have one similar to this, but I think this is probably one of the biggest ones out there. It's huge. Picture quality isn't great. I just grabbed some off of Google, but you can kind of see by the size of the guys here how big this thing is. And it operates kind of like, it can still float like a ship, I guess, even when it's not in hovercraft mode, as you can see there. But the doors open on here. There is a ramp, so hopefully we can go inside of it. Maybe it's got some crazy military loot, or it's, maybe it's task orientated, or there's a trader in there or something. Who knows? I'm just guessing. I don't know any of that stuff. But it's going to be part of the map as well. And then let's go back to this picture here. A while ago, we got this tweet. I don't remember. It was a long time ago, showing Terminal. And you can see how much it's changed. Everything from the lighting to some of the details. Somebody in my Discord made this little slider thing here, which is pretty cool. So we can kind of go back and forth. But you can see the truck's changed. The level of detail on stuff has changed. The fog, the lighting, it's substantially different. And the level of detail on stuff, which it makes me wonder if this is Unity 2019 and this is 2022. And that's just part of the stuff of them upgrading the look of things. But as well as this wall being here on the right side, that's this wall that's demoed right here. So obviously they started building the level and then they make design changes and adjustments to the way things are laid out, which I think is cool because it gives us a little bit of an inside view of that process of BSG's map building, which when it comes to the world building aspect and the looks of this, man, I don't know anybody who does it better than BSG. For all their faults and everything like that, you can't say they don't build immersive and amazing maps. That's just objective truth. Their maps are amazing. So it's kind of cool to see this little bit of progress here. Now, as far as Terminal being a map, for those that don't know, it's going to be the final map. It's the map that you actually escape from Tarkov from in the playthrough. Nikita said it's almost finished, but we're not going to see it till 1.0. He said that several times now. We will not see this map until 1.0. My guess is there's mechanics and stuff in lore-wise associated with this map that would give away the storyline, and they've kept that really close to their chest, not leaking anything or letting us know what's going to happen with the storyline when it comes to that. So my guess is that's part of the reason why. And as well in the past, Nikita has mentioned that the Terminal will be kind of like a solo experience, PvE experience, not so much PvP. I believe he means that more in the storyline mode, like when you're playing through the game. There's no way they're going to create a map like this and not have a PvP experience on it. I've seen some silly stuff, people saying this is proof that BSG is going to go to PvE with Tarkov and PvE's king. And Nikita literally just said to Nikita Nikita just said to Pestily a couple of days ago that the PvE mode doesn't have hardly anybody developing anything extra on it. So get those rumors out of your head. This is just part of the process of going through the storyline mode. So I'm eager to see what it is. One thing I forgot to mention, though, somebody pointed this out on Twitter, and it was a good catch. The Zuber hovercraft is also, this is the Raid series, the video, the movie that they made about Tarkov. If you haven't seen this and you're a Tarkov fan, you have to go watch it. It's super cool to watch. It kind of gives you a feeling of what Tarkov is. But this is one of the scenes towards the end where they're at terminal and you can see the Zuber hovercraft there, which is pretty wild. That congruency, I didn't expect anything like that, so it's kind of cool to see. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is just a kind of a montage clip. We got Nikita shared kind of this montage clip kind of deal, where it's a quick little video that shows all sorts of stuff. We'll go through it here and kind of comment. People jumped all over this and think this is BSG maybe announcing they're going to move to easy anti-cheat. God, I think that's a reach. I understand it's fun, and I guess maybe that could be what this is, but I don't believe that for a second. This is something else. This is not them going from battle eye to easy anti-cheat. So I don't think that, though there are people that do. The next bit we got is really interesting. So on the left here is we know they were planning on redoing the MPX and just kind of upgrading its quality because it's a really old model. So that's what we see here. But on the right, I'll try to get it where we can see it. This is a lever action. Caliber, I'm not sure. I'm sure there's some gun aficionados that can look at that and probably know what caliber or series of calibers it is. But either way, we're going to get a lever action, a tactical one by the looks of it, which might sound kind of silly, but it's also kind of cool because maybe like a lever action doesn't have jamming. You know, it kind of fits into that open bolt or the revolver category things. Who knows? I'm guessing. It was one of those things. I comment on this because I remember way in the years back, Pestyly's been asking for a revolver for a very long time, or not a revolver, a lever action for a very long time. So it's cool. We'll see what it does. We'll see what ammo they put with it. Probably be a new ammo if it goes with most of the lever action calibers that I've ever shot. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then next up in the video, this is just probably filming for Chronicles of Rigi. So nothing really there. This one I've thought about, and I mean, maybe if you guys know of anything, throw a comment down below. This is Customs. They have Big Red, the RUAF extract, and then the boat extract have markings on them, circles and a question mark. But beyond this, I don't know what this means. I don't know if it means anything. It could be nothing. They probably put it in here for a reason, but who knows? There's nothing in here about the expansion is going to adjust this building, and there's nothing really there for it. So I'm not sure. Honestly, I don't know if it means anything or whatever. This was just a TwitchCon. Doing stuff for Chronicles of Rigi, I guess, is, you know, you're making it look like it got shot up with a hammer. Probably celebrating BSG's birthday in October. This one here is interesting. I'm gonna try to get it where it's kind of clear. I'm not 100% sure what this is. I thought it's woods. This is the woods map. We're looking down on woods from probably, oh God, way up, 10, 15,000 feet. But I thought it was a heat map at first. But that doesn't really make sense because it just, I looking at the areas that they have highlighted, feel more like either it's not topographic, but terrain or something along those lines, because there's just areas in here that are highlighted that don't get a lot of traffic, but areas that get a shitload that aren't really highlighted, like sawmills, kind of just bright. Plus it changes. You can see through here as we go through some of these frames right at the end, watch like right here, you'll see this kind of change as it zooms out and gets further away from it. So this might be just some kind of level editing thing. You guys, somebody might know more about it. I don't. One of the other interesting things is you can see here, this whole area, it's squared off all the way to the river, which to me says that this is the new expansion area. So whatever they're doing includes that. And if you're wondering what I mean, right here's the woods map right now, right? Over here on the far right side, the map ends right here and there's a fence. And we know this area is getting an expansion. I'm going to zoom in here real quick for you guys. We know this area is getting an expansion right here, but it's probably coming in the next patch, and it's this whole area. So that kind of shows how that's going to go all the way to the river, and this whole area is going to be impacted, or at least it is in this little clip that they're showing. for whatever it means. I mean, guess I could have made this a little bit bigger for you guys instead of making it small. But other than that, I'm not entirely sure. If you guys know, let me know. Then we get a quick look at a glove. Could be Arena, could be Tarkov. It could be custom gloves being part of the thing, or this is just another glove part of the suits out there. I didn't go look. This might be something that's already in the game. I didn't go look specifically for that. Just an idea of what it could be. And then the last thing is them kind of chuckling about this squished guy running. So it might just have been them screwing around. But that's it. That's all that was on that video. If you were interested in that. Moving on. Today, like actually as I was making this, we got a screenshot of the new customs. So this is the rework they're doing on customs, the revisualization. And this might not be like, oh my God, it looks exactly the same. I took some screenshots before and after. This is with my post FX here versus the current one. And you can see it's pretty substantially different. The lighting, like I said, the textures, the small details. And I think what this shows is that, and it's par for the course with BSG, if they're going to this much level of detail inside the store, the rest of the map's going to have that same thing or even more. So I'm really eager to see the new customs rework. I think it's coming with patch 16. I'm not positive of that, but it will be cool to see if we do get it. And then moving on, this is kind of old. You might have seen it already, but I haven't talked about it, so I wanted to bring it up in case you guys hadn't. This is the AK-50. 100%, no guessing. The AK guy, if you don't know about this, we'll throw a link to his video down in the description. He wanted a couple year long process to build this. Kind of became a meme in the community, but he wanted to build a 50 BMG AK, true to the spirit of what an AK was. And it's a really cool video. He's got a couple of them talking about the trials and errors and the things they did, as well as finally getting it working and shooting it. It's a real gun. It's a one of a kind. This is kind of a homage, I guess, just to the AK guy and content creators. Ignore this. That's not important. Just my bait comment. But we'll have to see how this gets implemented. Obviously, it means they're adding 50 BMG to the game as a round, which opens the door for some other guns, you know, Barrett's, things like that. Maybe mounted guns. It would be kind of cool to see the USEC have the usage, lean more towards the usage of NATO American weapons like the M2 versus the Russian 12.755. What are that? I can't remember the dimensions, but it's 12.7 rounds. Pretty comparable. As well as how we're going to access this. It's obviously not going to be able to make it really common. I guess it's fully automatic. I don't remember actually from the video, but either way, semi-automatic 50 cal blows a 338 Lapua out of the water. How they're going to get this in the game and make it work remains to be seen. It's going to be very difficult to get and very hard to find. So we'll just have to wait and see. And then lastly, a little interesting bug. I know a lot of you guys might, I think it's a bug. You've noticed that some of the doors in streets, you get kind of stuck in and you got to crouch to go in them. It's mostly these style of doors, these doubles. I noticed yesterday playing that the doors are like shrunk. Like they put an extra window in here and then they like squeeze the door down because it's not like the doors clip through the floor. The kicker board's smaller, the window's smaller, the door's just shorter. Like, and if you run up to it, you can see where it like hits you in the forehead on your camera. So yeah, weird. Wanted to point it out because it's kind of funny, but also if you're having a hard time getting through doors on streets, you just got to crouch. And there's some of them that it's a narrow thing, but this one here looks like it's just this one and the one on the corner. And there's some other places that have these style of doors. It's crouching to get through them. Now, some word on some bugs. The Lightkeeper and Ref bug, BSG knows about them. They're working on them, but they're not given a date. Pretty much at this point, I'm expecting no other major patch fixes until patch 16, which will be the wipe. And that's probably about 4 weeks from now. Yes, that's a guess. It's 3-4 weeks. I don't know when wipe is. Nikita didn't say, sorta didn't say. He's referenced a New Year's wipe a half a dozen times in previous interviews, not in the aspect that wipe's going to be on New Year's, but as a kind of a time frame. And the last couple of years, wipe has been between Christmas and New Year's. I think it was one day apart. I think it was the 27th and 28th, or maybe 28th and 29th. Maybe they were both 28th. I didn't go back and look. Either way, it's going to be sometime in between there is my bet. So we'll just have to wait and see. They do that because it lets them get the wipe out and patch out and lets people start going on vacation, because Russian Christmas, Orthodox Christmas is after ours in the West. So they're in January. I forget that. I think it's January 7th or something. It's second week of January that they usually start letting guys take off for the holidays, with the big push to get the Christmas wipe out. Now, my assumptions, all of this, I've asked a lot of questions around. I've asked BSG. I don't get any answers on it. Not anything out of the usual there. But what I'm thinking right now is Unity 2022 is holding a lot of stuff up. That's why we haven't really seen any major bug fixes or patches in the last several weeks, basically since Halloween. is because, this is me guessing on the Unity workflow with some of the discussions I've had with people that work in it, is that the patches they're building, they're going to be working in Unity 2022, the developers themselves. And while there could be some backwards compatibility, it's going to be extra work. So moving, if they did a bunch of patches and they were expecting it to be in the game to be in 2022, those patches are going to be in Unity 2022. Well, since Unity 2022 is delayed yet again, until patch 16, as we know now, and hopefully patch 16, that means anything that they had done that was supposed to come out, like let's say November or even December, either they would have to go back and do more work on it to make it backwards compatible to Unity 2019, or they would have to wait till everything goes to 2020 and hits. And 100% this might just be copium. I don't know. It's just something that kind of makes sense to me. So hopefully, while the Unity update itself won't be directly responsible for making the game better, because we have a lot of content and patches and bug fixes and things that may be tied to that Unity 2022 patch, when it hits, there'll just be this big flood of work that unleashes finally and can be put to the game. Again, huge assumption. I don't know that's the case. That's kind of how I feel about it. We'll have to wait and see. And then the last thing is fog, because I know people have asking about it. I asked BSG, and they basically what they said is it's not where they want it, but it's intended. So I guess fog in the fall is heavier, or that's what they want in the area, is more fog in the fall, and that the fog is intended, but they change it every day. Or not change it every day. They're constantly tweaking it to try to get it to where it's right and it's playable. If you haven't played recently, I wouldn't describe the fog as playable. You can't, I mean, there's times where you can't see 50, 60 feet, let alone 200-300 yards if you're trying to do, like, you know, Shooterborn in Heaven, or if you're trying to snipe like I like to do. It's pretty brutal. So hopefully they come up with a fix for that and we can get more playable matches without the crazy fog, but maybe that's what they want. Anyways, I think that's it. That's all I got. I hope this caught you guys up. Hope it was helpful. Appreciate you guys coming and checking out my content. Wouldn't be here without you, obviously. No sponsor, but a quick shout out to my music. Links down in the description. It's on Spotify, made it in conjunction with Low Wave Records. It's free to listen to. It supports me as a content creator. It's pretty good music. It's not shitty low wave stuff. It's pretty good, and it's free. And if you're a content creator, it's also free for use in your videos or streams. We just ask that you attribute us, and then you don't have to worry about takedown strikes or copyright strikes. That's not what it's for. We made it for the community. So go check it out. It's 9 albums, 180 songs, a couple of different genres, so you can flip through and find stuff you like. We listen to it every day on stream. I really enjoy it. And that's all I got. I'll quit yapping. As always, appreciate you guys. As always, I wish you guys the best of luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.